Hi, and welcome to the Who We Be podcast. My name is Nina V. I'm so excited to have you here today. Today, we'll be talking with Yolanda Starks White. She is my aunt, but she is also an entrepreneur, a producer, a wife, a mother figure, a sister, and a friend. So, today we will be talking about the life of Rich Auntie. I feel like people do not talk about the life of a woman who decides to not have kids or is unable to have kids and what that looks like, especially when you still have the calling to be a caregiver of some sort. I am so intrigued to see what she thinks about who she is to others and how she shows up for her community and what it looks like to be that rich auntie, not only in aesthetic but in practice. So this is going to be a fantastic conversation. I'm excited for y'all to meet one of the women who has made me who I am today, and one of the people who I think possibly knows me the best. So without further ado, Yolanda Starks White. Is there anything that you don't want me to talk about?
What are we talking about?
Oh, so we're talking about the life of a woman who chooses not to have kids or cannot have kids, and what that looks like, even though you have a calling to still care for others and be in the life of children. Um, but also the aesthetic name for it of being a rich auntie, and what that really looks like, not just only in aesthetic of having the nice things, but in practice. So in that conversation, is there anything that you don't want to talk about and it's kind of off limits?
No, but if you're okay, if something comes up, am I free to say I'd rather not discuss it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's go for it. I can't imagine what it would be, but just in case, I would love to have that opportunity.
I know. Well, I also know this. You told me very briefly in the past that you did have miscarriages. Is that
Hmm.
something that you do not want to? Is that something that you don't want to talk about?
Oh no, that's a great story.
Okay. Okay.
My miscarriage is a great story.
Not many would say that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Well, how have you been?
I'm good. I'm happy.
You're good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in a really, really good space these days.
I'm glad. I feel like well, you're always busy, but it's nice to know that you're happy in your busyness. It's not chaotic and overwhelming.
No, because you know what? I don't see myself as busy. I have
Okay.
set my life up where I do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't allow the pressures of the world to pressure me.
Um I know that, well, you often say that you don't think of yourself as a rich auntie. Or maybe were you familiar with that term?
I've never heard of that. Tell me where that came from, what that mean, and
So the rich auntie is the woman in your life who is a motherly figure, but she is fun and energetic,
all right then.
and she has great advice, and she
Yes.
lives this really good life that you aspire to, and maybe it's aesthetically her house or her closet or the way she dresses, that makes you really say like, okay, she is a woman, and she is a woman without kids, and you still see her, because I think that some people see women who choose or cannot have, do not end up not having kids.
Hmm.
um I think a lot of times society questions their womanhood or their femininity. Um, but the rich auntie, she is without children of her own and still embodies this womanly aesthetic and womanhood and care, that you feel like is such a safe space.
Oh, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me that clip and send it to me. Yes. How about that? Okay, I received
Yes.
that.
So I think of you as that. Why, when you hear that term, what do you think of? Or
Well,
why, when I first brought it up, you kind of rejected it a little bit.
well, because rich is intimidating. The
Okay.
just the title rich, because I don't really know what that means as far
Okay.
as what is your total annual income, how much money you have in the bank, what are your investments. So I out of my business sense kicks in and say, okay, so if she thinks I'm rich, I have I given her good financial advice, or am I there
Okay.
when she needs me? If she really needs something, she knows she can always come to me. So though the responsibility of having that rich is a part of it, and I have to tell you, I do feel the burden, and not in a negative way because I'm built for it, but I
Mm-hmm.
do feel the burden of my nieces, my godchildren. I want to always be there. I just want them to
Yeah.
know whatever it is you're into, I'm with you. I support you. And so that is something that is always in my head. And I could do that because I don't have the day to day. And because, my mother is so funny. She always likes for me to do stuff. And she's like, well, if you have some extra money, like, hold on for a second. Who has extra money?
Every penny is accounted for over here.
And so I am very conscious about pouring into young people's life financial responsibility,
Okay.
and
Okay.
pursuing whatever it is you want to do, pursuing it in a healthy way. But for me, I do try to pour into their lives financial. And so when I think of rich, what does rich mean? Is rich in money, or in advice, or in understanding, or in lifestyle? Because I do
Okay.
have friends, and see, that's another reason why it's intimidating. I do have friends that aesthetically, they got the $1 million house, they have the Range Rover, they have a Mercedes, but they're in so much debt.
Yeah.
And so I'm one of those people. You have all of that. I'm always concerned. What do your investments look like? Can you go a year or two without working if you don't want to? You know, you know what I mean. So that's what I think
Yeah.
about. Anyway,
I okay, I understand now. I think that I perceive it as rich in lifestyle.
got it.
I do get the money aspect is a part of it because I think as to be as aesthetically pleasing as a rich auntie is, there is some kind of financial upkeep. However, I see it for you, for how I see you, I see it more in lifestyle. I think it is very much a luxury to be able to structure your life the way that you have. And I find that admirable. I find that inspiring. So in that I see that as being rich. I just as much as I feel like people think of rich, wealthy,
Right.
that kind of thing only financially. Um, but I think that you are rich in love and rich in life and
I
experiences
see
and
that.
fun and
I open
friendship.
I open my mind to that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that as a definition of being rich, because I would like the idea of the young people in my life that they see me more as a safe space as opposed to a bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can always come to me and we can figure it out. And there's no
Right.
judgment. And I
Right.
might even encourage you to do a little ridiculousness. He'll be like, don't tell your mama.
I feel like she knows. We were talking about you. I did the first episode with her about being a single mom, and we were talking about how she curated this village, and if it came naturally or if it was intentional. Like, did you pick people, or was it just God given? And when we talked about you, I said that we have agreed that we're soulmates,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that there is just, she was very much aware that each member of the village, especially you, had their own outlook on life that they were supposed to teach me.
Mm.
She did say that your other job was to take me around the world. So you, I feel like on the list, like I a trip would not would I wouldn't be opposed,
Okay,
but
well, you know what? Let's open that door. Let's open that door. Cause so Nina, so what's truth about that, for real, and I really try to encourage that is I am excited. That is one thing that I have done a lot. I have traveled around the world. I've been to six continents, and like I go to
mm,
different countries just for over the past 20, 30 years. So I have not traveled, during COVID, since COVID, since 2020.
right,
I may have taken, I've taken 3 trips abroad.
okay,
And so just last month, I took my mother to Paris. And
really,
yes, girl, yes, it was on her bucket list. So I
I
took her to
love
Paris.
that.
And so while being there, what I always like to do is I really like to get into the culture and talk to the people and see how they see, think, and feel, and what they
Yeah,
see and think and feel about Americans. And I was reminded, the more I go, the more I travel, the more I see, the more I realize what I don't know. The more I realize how big this world is,
yeah,
and just how many things happen that does not even close to come into myopic view of the world. And
right.
that's one thing that travel really, really does for me, is that it really opens my mind. So I don't feel like, ooh, I'm this world traveler. What it has done for me, it lets me know, ooh, it's a big world out there with a lot going on. Why am I tripping? Why am I
You
tripping?
know,
Because Sally in this desk next to me rolled her eyes, or, really?
because she is just as I am, she is this little just this little speck to the whole universe. And
You ever
when
think
I
about
went
that?
to,
Do you ever think
you
about
said, do I? Afterwards, in the midst of frustration, no.
that? Well, no, that's what I meant. I mean, just because that overwhelms me when I think about how big the world is and how I fit in it. I have to really, really, it
Okay.
humbles me, but it really encourages me to live my life because don't nobody care.
Yes. Like, I find it more, I love getting to know people because I realize we can be standing in the same place but view the world so differently.
Yes.
You see it differently, whether it is just what our being is, like we have different eyesight. So, like, you see the trees differently, just
Right.
quite literally,
Yes.
or just our idea of the world. It's so, I find it more fascinating than overwhelming.
Mm.
Um, I remember when I went to Spain with Auntie Paulette, and I was coming back and I was talking to Cyan about it. And the one thing I just really felt, I was like, it really felt like my feet were on a different part of the world. And I
Right.
mean, it is very, I mean, it's like, duh, but like you don't know it until you feel it, and everything around you is so different, and the
Yes.
people treat you so different, and not in a negative way, but
Right.
just their culture, their habits, it feels like you are somewhere else.
Yes.
And it's very, I like that I like the humbling part. It is very humbling to know that, girl, we over here dealing with this, whatever, and there is somebody over there, just
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Good for you.
just living a different life.
And it might be, you might have a better sense without going to all of these different places, because the internet has really shrunk how global we are. So
Yes.
you probably are a lot more exposed to different cultures than I am. And even though I have been around the world, you probably, through social media and the internet and all of that, I mean, it could really, really
Yeah.
expose you to a lot of things that I wasn't exposed to.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Social media is I find it beneficial for, I think I agree. I find it beneficial for people of my age, but I don't think that I like how um I guess that's another conversation, but I don't like how immediate it feels for people of younger generations. I wish that they had more of a
Hold
gap
on for a second.
with the world.
Wait just a minute. I'm just digesting that you're looking at younger generations. There's a generation
What?
younger than you.
Yes. What? I'm
Oh my
a
Nina, you are just a little baby for me. This
but
is talking about other generations. Yes.
there is like Aaliyah is in a different generation than me.
Okay. Yeah, she is.
You know?
I guess I just don't. Yeah. So you have. Yeah. Wow. Yes, that's true.
I
I'm telling you. I guess because I forget that you are an adult.
yeah,
Like
I'm
you are
25.
a college graduate out there living your life adult. Like it's like you don't
Yeah.
have to tell. You don't always have to tell your mama where you are. you can.
No,
You.
and she doesn't even care to know, to be honest.
Yeah, Nina Bina. Okay, I received that. So you were saying what social media is to younger people.
Yes, I think that there is a pro to how I don't know what the word is, but how much you can grasp at such a instantaneous rate for, I think, just for different, I guess, different information you're looking for, or different ways to expose yourself to different cultures, different people's lives. But I think that there is some bliss in the ignorance of that gap as well, of not being able to, like, the 14-year-olds these days, like, they're aspiring to be what I aspire to be, which I think is really tough on them, because it's like, well, you're 11, 10 years younger than me, and we're both looking at the same thing and saying, "Oh, this is my goal." When there's so much more
Right,
in between that space
right,
that they could be looking at. And
right.
I mean, even I have a hard time with people I see on the internet, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I like comparing yourself." And then eventually you find out their age, and they're like, "Oh, I'm 35." And I'm like, "Oh, girl, well, I thought never mind. Let me forget about that. I got some time left. Like, it's
Right. Good
fine."
for you.
Um, with just kind of like your view on the world and things like that, and how has that, I guess, shaped your partnership with Uncle Ward? Because I know I love that he is always great. Um, and I love how I see it as like of how you protect him as his partner. um and very how hold that safe space for him to, if he did not feel great one day, nobody else would know. um but how has that outlook shaped you as a partner and how you show up for him?
Well, you know what? I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. One of
Okay.
my biggest advantages in life is my daddy raised me. Like I am a daddy's girl. And he's so, my daddy was so wonderful. I wrote a book about him. That's just
Mm-hmm.
how, what he did for me in my life. But part of what he did is he made me very, very independent. And he did not want me to depend on anybody but him.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, and he was very, 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 very much about that. And so, like, even growing up, your mother thought that I was so spoiled because I had a car and I could go somewhere and I could do this. But my daddy was just very, he really, and I'm not going to say he overdid it, but my mother on the other side, She wasn't as present as my dad, but
Hmm.
she loved the Lord. And so I got that from my dad. So even with, I'm coming somewhere with this,
Hmm.
even
Yeah.
with all of what my daddy gave me, of the foundation of who I am, I really am a woman of God. So that is everything around me emanates that. So when
Yeah.
it came time to get a man, because I was intentional. I got to a point, when I was growing up, I would always say, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids. I just want to have a lot of money and travel the world. And that's what I did. I was on that track to make money and I was going to travel.
Hmm.
And I allowed society and pressure to get into my head about what women should be. And so I was very, very intentional about, at one point, having a baby. I didn't want a baby, but I just thought, again, that's what I was supposed to do. So I was very intentional. And I sought men that I thought would be great fathers. So I
Okay.
wasn't talking about what their total annual income is, what college they went to, all of that. I just wanted the person. I was lucky enough that I was able to get somebody that had those other things, but that wasn't my thing. I wanted
Yeah.
somebody that was a good person. And Ward White is one of the best people that I've met. He's just such a good person. But here's the deal, and hopefully he won't see this. I spoke into my life what I wanted. So from the very beginning, I said, Ward the Great. That's what I said to him. That's what I said to anybody I introduced him to. I spoke that into existence. Was he great then? Mm, Probably not as great as I was giving him. But I do think
Okay.
you're right. I do think that I spoke that and I built that, and that's who he has become to me.
Yeah.
He is great because I say he's great and I hold him to that. I don't know that I hold him to that. He holds himself to that. And so with understanding that he's great, there has to be some level of respect. And so because I think he's great, I respect him, and that has been the glue to our marriage.
I love that. And I see that as, even, well, I see that as you, I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was going through some things. She just got engaged, and she was having this kind of conversation about how they were just navigating a different scenario, and her sisters felt like gave her different advice, and I think they gave her advice of a girlfriend. And I asked her, well, how do you want to show up as his wife?
Mm,
Because that is a different role, and that does look different,
it
and it is a
does.
different kind of ego check. It is a different kind of humility. So I internalize that as, you show up for him by believing in him, and he shows up for you by holding himself accountable to who he knows he should be for you.
100%. And I think he will tell you what I have heard him say. The reason why I married her is because I knew she would make me a better person. So at first, when I was younger, because we're 20 years in, I was like, well, what about the butterflies and the love and all of that I was caught up
That
on?
I was promised,
And
okay?
do you know who I think I am? I make you a better person. That's why you wanted me. But that has worked out in my favor. Because, like you say, because he wants to be a better person, he shows up every day to me a better person, a better
Right.
husband. Like even after this, people say, I was with somebody a few weeks ago and they were getting a divorce. And they were saying, oh girl, marriage is hard. You know how men are. And I didn't tell her this because her life experience is her life experience. But Nina Bina, let me tell you something. Marriage does not have to be hard. Work is
That's
hard.
reassuring.
I go to work and work hard. I'm not coming home and it's hard. This is my place of peace, and it is. But part of that, at the very beginning of our relationship, we both said our marriage is not going to look like anybody else's marriage. This is us. We keep everybody out. That's number one. And number two, I have this thing, and I think so does he. Is it more important to be happy and peace than to have those shoes out the floor, than to have those papers off the table, than to have all of this other stuff? What's more important for the other person to do what you want them to do, how they want you to do it? Or it's not that big of a deal. If you want the towels folded a certain way, you fold the towels. I mean,
Right.
it is
Right.
better to create peace and happiness in your space.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that is not going to mean anything next week, next month, next year because you left your shoes at the door, really? But what he will always get, and I'm telling you, Nina, it has really, really manifested. So Ward right now is in the process of taking care of his mother. And
Right.
oh my God, he's so great. He's so wonderful. And the way she's choosing to do it, she wants to stay at her house. She does not want to come and live with us. So he
Okay.
honors his mother by going over there and taking care of her every day. But he comes home and I'm like, oh, it's late. Go on and stay over there. He's like, no, that's where my peace is. So I'm coming to you because you are where I was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. Yes. And that's what it is. He's like, yeah, all of this, I'm doing this as a job. It's my duty as a son. But my happiness and my peace is where you are. And so that's where I'm coming every day.
So then the butterflies come back. And what you thought maybe,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you chose Uncle Ward because you felt like he was going to be a good father,
Yes.
or that's what you were going for when you were choosing your partners.
Yes.
Which I would agree. I think that he is an amazing to me, especially of everything that I think of him, and I think he is definitely the standard of a man that I hold other men to. And they have, trust me, fallen short. But
And Nina, you could actually do that with people, period. Not just with men, but even your girlfriends, your friend girls. He is a good person, Nina. Not just
yes,
to me. He's good to you. He's good to the next door neighbor. He's just a good quality person. And so I think if we surround ourselves with more people like that, we're not constantly looking over our shoulder trying to figure out what they really think. They said this, but what they really mean.
you
Ooh,
know,
that's a lot of
you know
Nina. That's a lot of work. I know that's what you said, but I got to figure out what you really meant by
what you really mean.
uh-uh.
No, no, thank you.
Right.
No, thank you.
So anyway, you were saying,
So you decided that okay, he has these characteristics that you felt like would make him a good father, and you felt like society was telling you that a woman was supposed to have a baby and she was supposed to get married and it was supposed to look like this. So when did you guys decide? Okay, y'all wanted to step into parenthood, and what y'all's journey looked like because you guys ended up not having kids.
well, we both we both came into this just really having fun. We're really free. So we traveled and we hung out. It was really, really great. And so when we both had said as young people we didn't want to have kids and we didn't want to get married. He said that as a young person too.
Oh, okay.
Nina Bina. When I met Uncle Ward, he was one of those guys that had a lot of friends.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I can't.
yeah, he had a roster.
I was like, I can't be your friend. No, we're not going to be friends. Go on. If other people want to put up with that or be a part of that, not put up with, be a part, then go ahead. That just wasn't me. And so he was really loving his life. He was making a lot of money. He had just built a house. He was that guy.
Yeah.
And so when he got with me, we were having fun, but for me, it changed because I was
Oh,
like, okay, so yeah, let me. As I was looking around, I was like, so he's right here, he's good. So I started talking about
yeah.
him. If you go be here, I'm trying to get married and have some babies. And so honestly, he had to come around. It wasn't on his agenda. He came around.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I was like, see you later, alligator, because this is what I'm going for. And if you're not a part of it, next. Well, when I said next, he came back and said, okay, I'm just playing.
Okay, yeah, he said, hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. I didn't know if you were serious or not. I had to check it now.
Right, right. So Nina, we got married and we were pregnant. I mean, we intentionally like went to the doctor. We intentionally got pregnant within 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were intentional about it. And because we were older,
Mm-hmm.
we were older. And
How old were y'all when y'all got
so
married?
I was 36, 36,
Okay.
37 when I married Uncle Ward.
Uh huh.
And so when we got pregnant, I was still working a whole lot. And so
Okay.
I was I was the talent producer for the Source Awards. And
Okay.
so the Source Awards was in Miami that year. So I was down and I had my whole team and I think I was like 3 or 4 months pregnant. And I was there and I was working, working, working. And this was with Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson were together. They
Okay.
came to the Source Awards. He had come down. We had seats blocked off for them. He came down to look at the seats. It was in between taping to look at the seats so she could come in. So while I was showing him the seat, my water broke.
Oh.
Yeah, and blood just started. It was everywhere, and so it was actually I was really good friends with Will Smith's security.
Mm-hmm.
He came because I was right in the middle of this venue with these what it had to be like 4,000 people, and I'm having a miscarriage.
Right.
And so, girl, the only way to have a miscarriage, Nina, that's the only way to do it in the middle of taping the show. God dang it, if you gonna do it like that.
Okay. Make it a show.
So, so he swept me up and he took me out, girl, the ambulance, whole 9 yards. It
Oh my.
was so beautifully dramatic. And so, but here's the thing that's interesting. Yeah, we were sad, but both of us were like, immediately, we were like, okay, well, that wasn't our baby. That wasn't intended for us. That was not our baby. And we were okay with it. We both took that attitude that if God wanted us to have that baby would have
Yeah.
come. Well, what I found out is I had a lot of fibroid tumors that was prohibiting
Okay.
the baby to come.
Uh huh.
And so I had the myomectomy, whatever it is. I had that procedure. So by now I'm like 38. And so
Okay.
we went to a fertility doctor. So he would have to get these shots
Mm-hmm.
to shoot me. And so one day, and he hated it. One day he was down there and he was just having a really hard time. And I was like, what? And he's like, I just hate doing this. I hate it. I was like, well, why are we doing it? He said, well, I'm doing it because you want to do it. I was like, no, I'm doing it because you want to do it. He said,
Oh Lord.
are you cool? I'm like, I'm cool. He's like, forget this. Girl, we'll never look back. It has been great. That was the best decision that we made. I mean, I still see him. I was standing up. He was down. I was like, you good? He's like, I'm good. I was like, forget this. And we never did it again.
I love that. Was it a feeling of, I would imagine, relief? Like a relief of pressure of saying like, okay, that we're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, it was. It
you
was
know?
because that was a lot. That was a lot of,
Yeah.
especially getting those injections.
You know, because they go in your, like, around your hip area.
Now it's right underneath the belly.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
then y'all
anyway,
just,
we never look back, and it has been great. It's really been great. Do I think Ward White would have been a great father? Yeah, he probably would have, but I don't know. He could have hit his head and turned into somebody else. I don't know. It's just here we are now, and this really worked out for us.
I think so. I would, I think that you are so much of an aunt that I would be very curious to see you as a mom. And that's not to say that I don't think that you would have been a great mom,
Right.
but I think that you really, I don't know. I think that you are such a great aunt.
Well, see, part of what I think about, I am so untraditional in my thoughts. Like every conversation I have with my girlfriends, I'm standing alone in this. Nobody sees it this way. I know it's just me. And I'm curious how my independent spirit would really gel into being a mom, because there's a whole lot of
I,
confinement that
yes,
comes with being a mother. But see,
yes.
but see, I wouldn't worry about that because Ward, I'm telling you how it would have worked out. Ward would have been the parent. And that doesn't mean that I'm not nurturing. That doesn't mean that I'm not loving. That doesn't mean I'm not caring. But I don't pay attention to details enough.
He would have been provided, I guess,
Structure.
yeah, the structure. Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm
yeah.
trying to go to London because Vanessa Williams is opening up Kiss of the Spider Woman. So I got to be
Right.
there for that. I'm just saying. So
I'm like, you can take the baby to the kindergarten game.
y'all gone on with that. Don't be like that, Nina. I would be in the PTA. I would be the president of the where you drive them around. What is that called?
I think that I don't. Do you? I, I don't. I feel like you are great with kids. Would you? Do you feel like you would have been great with moms?
You mean being a mom?
No, being friend, being. I feel like it would have been a reflection of how you feel now, of how independent and free you are as a person. That would have translated into motherhood. And I think that people find, or society finds, motherhood so, like, there is an idea for it. And even my mom breaks those barriers. And I find you to be more go with the wind than she is. I'm curious how that would have translated into your friendships with other
I
moms.
think that I would have done it exactly how your mother did it. I think that I would have
Okay.
surrounded myself with people. I think, and that's one of the things me and your mother talk about all the time. We really try to look at stuff really with eyes wide open, whether we like it or not. And so
Yeah.
my deficiencies, I think that I would have sought somebody else to fill that void that I know that I couldn't feel. And I don't and
Okay.
and I don't think I would have felt bad about that because I
Yeah.
know that I can't be everything. I'm not everything to everybody.
To everyone. Yeah.
So I think your mother, again, and I tell her all the time, you are great because that's how God created you. But your mother really fostered your greatness by the people who she put around you. And
Yeah.
that was so, I don't know how she knew to do that, but I watched her. And it was intentional. She was intentional about, different people, even people, and you don't have to know about this, even people that she wasn't, she knew that they would be good for you. So she really pursued that and kept that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have done that. I think that's a great blueprint And I think even the best mothers could use that, because not one woman is everything, and I don't put that
Yeah.
pressure on myself. I don't. I don't cook. I don't clean. I know that's what society say you do. Listen, those baseboards, and my baseboards have to be clean. I'm not gonna do them, but I hate dirty baseboards.
Like it is a priority. It's just not my task. It's just not my responsibility.
I'll
That's
just,
all.
you know what? I figure out how to get it done. And so again, just how things are supposed to be, I've just never fit into that. I just haven't.
I like that. So you guys decide not to have. You're like, okay, we're cool. We live in life like this. I'm. I am not. I am not the first life that you have become a mother figure to. When did you feel that, I guess, that pull into caregiving? Well, do you find yourself as a mother figure?
100%. Oh my God.
Okay.
So I got to tell you, to be honest with you, so I've always just really loved on my nieces and what have you. But when I decided not to have children, I was intentional about different young people in my life, because I knew that I needed to sow some seeds, because in my later years somebody was going to have to take care of me. No, no, no. And I was very intentional. Okay, I'm really, I really am a great person and all of that, but I am pouring into you so you can take care of me. Very intentional.
Okay.
Very intentional.
Okay.
And I am going to be open minded, and I'm going to pour into you for what you need, not what I think you should be, not what I think you need, but for what you need. Because on the other side, when you take care of me the way I want to be taken care of, not the way everybody else say that you should be able to do it, the way I want to. And I'm very intentional about that. And so there are different young people that I have um, put in my life, and I'm telling you, it is manifesting. The young women that I have, like Lexi calls me mom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Chica is already treating me like I don't know how to balance a checkbook. All in my business. I'm like Chica. You can't do everything for me. Well, why not, Yogi? Because I need to do some stuff for myself.
But they want to.
Yes. So yeah, my nieces,
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to be taken care of because of the seeds that I've sown.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Um and I don't, you don't have to give me a specified role. If you do have one, let me know of what you're. I don't I is it, well, are those seeds just as intentional as like my mom, when she was creating this village, she gave every village member a task. In your concept of pouring into young people, do you also have a task for them of what that looks like for them to show up when it is time for them to take care of you?
I don't. Hmm. And you know what? I am not. I don't know that I have that in me, because I really am a more organic person.
Okay.
I want whoever shows up at the particular time that I need them, they will show up in the way that they're supposed to be for me. And I just believe that.
Okay.
And I don't try to control it. I just know that the seeds I'm sowing are going to blossom. And I don't know what it looks like. And it's okay that I don't know what it
Yeah.
looks like. It's okay. And, I never know who I'm going to meet tomorrow that might come and be a part of that village, because I am building a village. I love young people. I love young girls. I do. And so I am building a village, and I never thought of it like this. I do have a village of young people, and even young men that I know that when I'm down, that they're going to be there. I know that. I am intentional about
Yes.
that.
I received that. I received that. And I received that as somebody a part of that village.
Yes.
of that.
I really,
I do take on that
you know,
responsibility.
I think you, I think you show up. Like even our relationship at this point, you always show up for me. So I'm not good at calling. I'm just there if you need me, if you need your rent paid or you need some, I'm there. But you are very good about, well, let's go have lunch. Well, can I stop by and see you? And all of that. You are
Yeah.
you're thoughtful in that. And your mother isn't like that. So I don't know where you got that from, but you really do. For me, and I don't know, but I think you do that with John John. I think you do that with a number of people, where you,
I it's something that I'm now that I'm here, it's more accessible. I feel like when I was in Houston, I was just in a different space.
even
But it is
when you came home, you had to see me. But you have no idea what that meant for me and Uncle Ward. That when you came
really.
home, oh my God, it was you were our baby that went off to college, and when you came home, you had to see us before you went back. That was so freaking special. Yes,
Aw.
yes,
I I don't know. I think I agree. My mom is not like that. However, she did instill that I think responsibility in me, because I've been discussing with my friends. I did the podcast I filmed right before this was with my cousin Ty. She's Auntie Heather's goddaughter. Um, and talking about as the people around me start to get married and have babies and get engaged and move and things like that. Um, my community or my village has always been my mother's community, but now that I'm getting to an age where I have to make my own community, how do I show up as that community member?
right.
What do I look like as a villager? Um,
Dang,
so
you have always been so deep. Good. Whoa, that was really good. Yes. Okay.
so,
Okay.
so I do try. That
Nice.
is something that I'm very aware of how I show up for the people who showed up for me. And it is something. So I love that you guys appreciate that, and that it is well, and not that I thought that you didn't, but that it made a bigger impact than I even thought that.
Oh my God. And you would really, and it was never in passing. You would let me hold you hostage. I know you like, ooh, I want to go see Auntie Yolanda, but I got to make some time for all those words. We're not just going to stop by and have a drink and keep it moving.
Okay, we're gonna chit chat for a couple of hours, so we're gonna have to be there for a minute.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. No,
Yes. So
you show up.
okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Well, even this, I'm just so honored that you would have me to be a part of your next and what you're creating. Like I've been so excited about this all week.
Hmm.
What's next? And I don't know what my next is. Nina, I might be a single woman living in Mexico City this time next year. I don't know. I'm open to it. And I'm okay. And I'm not lost. I'm not confused. I'm not depressed. I'm not searching. I'm not trying to find myself. I'm good with who I am. I am just open to whatever the universe brings my way. And that
Yeah,
feels great.
I like that.
No
So
pressure.
it's um it's giving you more of an acceptance to the different, I guess, different ebbs and flows of life.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate this. Thank you so
Bina,
much.
Bina. And we did it in less than 2 hours. We had
We did.
a conversation
How
less than 2 hours.
never has it happened ever.
Don't tell Cyan because I got some words for her too.
You know?
Nina,
So
if you could, two questions, and I'm gonna let you go for real. Two
okay.
questions. If you could visit anywhere else, so I'm just gonna ask you that one because living is. If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you like to go? Give me your top two places.
My top two places. It would be somewhere in South Africa, and can I give you three?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Dubai. I really have always wanted to see Dubai, and Greece. But I used to be Santorini, but I don't not Santorini anymore. Actually, I'll change
Why
Greece.
Santorini?
It was just somewhere when I was younger that was very popular, and I really loved the views and what it looks like and how pretty it was.
I have
Um,
driven down the Amalfi Coast up to Santorini,
and
and
it's I just know it's just gorgeous.
oh my God, yes,
I love
yes.
it.
Oh wow.
But they say that there's somewhere you can get the same type of feel. They say that Greece's economy is weird or something, that your money, I don't know. I was on travel TikTok, so it may not be the best place to go tour or to visit. Um, so an alternative is Turkey, and I forget which where in Turkey gives you the same kind of what you're looking for, the views and the culture and things like that. So yeah.
Interesting. So, my dream for you being a missionary, could you see yourself? Why did I think that of you?
Um, I think that you thought that of me because at the time I was going on mission trips every year. When my mom was engaged to Lawrence, his oldest son Lawrence, he told me when we were younger that he thought I was going to be a pastor.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
So I've gotten those.
And it's that. That's the
Yeah.
missionary vibe that I was feeling. It's the benevolence, the humility, the
Yes.
compassion, the so not just the generosity and the gift, but it's the your heart is just so compassionate, and
Yeah.
just your beautiful idealistic way of what life should be.
You know, you know. And I am still her. I still, as much as the world, like I would have never imagined, I think I'm hesitant in using the word broken, but I think that's the only word that comes to mind. Maybe how divided the world feels right now. Um I am still in my heart very optimistic as to what where the world is going to be. And I hope that in that process that I help facilitate any of that.
Well, I think if you just be you, and I think, Nina, I really think you already are who you're going to be.
I'll
I'm just
absorb that.
I'm just excited to see you walk into it.
I receive that. I do. I'm really excited about this podcast. This is my
And maybe this is the journey for you to walk to who you really are, because you are a complete, you're not broken. You are a complete person.
I
Um,
don't find myself broken. I find yeah, broken isn't the word. I find society and the world divided. And I am such a sociologist at heart.
yeah.
I am such a
The way things should be.
the way things should be. Why do people act the way that they act? How does that affect the world? And
Yep.
how do we get here? And how do we get back to wherever? How do we get to where we're going? Um, so I just hope that I
I think that's where you and I connect. I think that I I I have that. I even wrote a book. How did I end up here? Like, what happened in your life where you ended up right here doing this? I'm
yeah
very curious about that. How you got to be sitting here with my beautiful goddaughter niece having this fulfilling conversation that I will probably hold in my heart for days to come. And I got here through years and years of years of watching you and being a part of your life, and with your as generous as your mother was with sharing you with us, that all of that cumulatively brought me here to be with you. So I'm with you on that, because I do
I,
believe there are different situations and circumstances that causes us to do things that we may or may not do, just depending
yes,
on whatever the situation is.
yes. And they say that you make like 20,000 decisions a day.
Mm.
And that actually I think the number may be bigger than that. But based off of that, I mean, my decision to even like choose what I'm wearing, to choose what I eat today, to write with pencil instead of pen, or to any of that, it does affect. It just it turns into something.
All right, Nina Beta, bye. I love you.
I love you so much. Thank you.
Okay, be safe. Bye bye.